Turn this around. Alrighty, we're back in Austin. I got some new things to say to these people. I hope they listen. Oh, let me fix the chat. I always forget. There we go. Alrighty. Ugh. Kind of smells. The heat is making the city smell. So we're going to walk away from the buildings, because that's usually where the smells are. So, getting a few more people. I can see the doors are open. They're smart. Nobody's standing outside. It's too dang hot. It's actually cooler today than it has been in a while. I think the storms brought some cool air. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been gone so long. Somebody asked me once if I get burnout. I'm like, no, because I'm actually missing it. Stuck in my house, not going outside. Not having anybody to talk to but my puppies. I'll read your chats when I get there. If I try to read chat and walk, I will probably face plant. So I looked up the definitions of human trafficking, and Scientology ticks every box. Every box. I'm going to try to get as many out as I possibly can before they close the doors. But I'm also going to keep yelling it, because we know they can hear me when the door's cracked. With my voice, they can probably hear me if the door's closed. Somebody left a shock line. That's weird. Sorry if sometimes it's crooked. So I'm carrying the tripod. I'm going to start before I get to the door so they can hear as much as possible. Let's sneak. We're sneaky, sneaky. We're hunting some rabbits. Human trafficking signs. Living with your employer. Living in a cramped space with others. Living in poor conditions. Here, let me get the whole list. The employer holding identity documents, i.e. passport. Submissive or fearful behavior, i.e. closing doors and blinds. Inability to speak to the individual alone. Scripted or rehearsed answers. They tick every box. And I'm going to stay right out front today, as close as I can, so I can tell them a lot more. Hang on, I'm getting the tripod down. So, give me just a second. Alrighty. I'll let you know when I'm done shaking. Shaky, shake. Uh-oh, that one's not locked. Are we locked? Whoop, nope, we're not locked. That's not locked. Oh, that one. Alrighty. Human trafficking indications. Multiple people in a cramped space. Inability to speak to the individual alone. Poor living conditions. Living with employer or employees. The employer holding identity documents like your passport. Signs of physical abuse. I missed that one before. Submissive or fearful behavior like closing doors and blinds. The dictionary. Definition of human trafficking. It's a crime that involves using force, fraud, or coercion to exploit and profit from people for labor, commercial acts, I'm not going to say that, or services against their will. Coercion can be, stupid bus. Coercion can be physical, psychological, or subtle. Traffickers often use violence, fake job opportunities, and fraudulent promises not kept. Coercion can come from a group or peers your own age. Taking a passport away is false imprisonment. Not allowing to leave whenever one wants to. Ways traffickers control their victims: economic abuse, meaning being paid so little you can't live on your own. Debt, belief that you have a debt when you leave. That's a way human traffickers make you stay. Belief pay here is better than elsewhere, using violence and fear. Okay, I'll say hi now. Oh, since I'm here a little later and it's shady, I'm staying right up front here. Alrighty, woo, we got a lot of people. Howdy, y'all. Been a while. Hi, Hitzel. Oh, I gotta get my fans out in a minute. Hi, Lori. Anti-Scientology Project, like your name. Colorado. Right on. MD Media, all right. Pub Grimmer. I haven't been here in I think almost 2 weeks because I had an asthma attack. Rebuke body routers. We are not raw meat. Exactly. Sundee. Thank you, Sundee. You're the reason I'm here today. Audit Golden Era, and I forgot to check my email again. I have not. When I'm at home, it's like everything goes right out my brain. Hit the likes on the way in. Yes, thank you. So, I have it. I'm good now. So, you can watch me in the glare as I set up my stuff. So, I got some new fans. Hoping they do a good job. Bag. I do appreciate it, Sunday. It really, really did help. The end of the month gets a little tight. But partly because we're terrible. I used to be really good at keeping the budget until I got my disease. And it affects my brain. I can't concentrate. I used to be able to read a novel a week. Now I can't read a magazine article. You're probably wondering how I can remember all the Scientology stuff. Because I binge watched it for a year and a half. Alright, so how do I want to set up my fan? Because I found out when I got it, it's not tall enough to sit on the ground. It's not as hot today as it has been. I probably don't even really need it, but I want to try it out. So we're going to try it out. Great. Oh, perfect. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I like that. Feel that. Still not quite tall enough. I might have to put, let me see, I'm going to switch you guys around. So, I might have to put, I can feel it if I stand like right next to it, but I'd like to have it, up here. So, I think I'm going to look into some sort of box. And then I have this one that actually you can hand hold it or you can hang it around your neck. Yeah, when I was reading through those, I hear everybody say it's a human trafficking cult. But then when you sit there and you read through on each side, so I want it longer. So it really was eye-opening because they are, but to actually read all the stuff they're doing is just remarkably ridiculous. That they hit every single, I mean, the only thing you can really take out is the S-ax. That does not feel long enough. Yes, it is. Okay, so now I'll check the chats here in a second. So this one, you know what? I don't think I need the water today, but you can put water in this one and it'll blow water. There's 1, 2, 3. Wow, that does, you know what? I don't even need this one, to be honest with you. This one is freaking awesome. For $5? Timo, y'all. Now, I never liked AliExpress. Let's see. Got my inhaler. Okay, we're good. Alright, so this is nice. Super nice. I could have it closer, I guess. I can feel this one. You know what? I'll put that one on my... Oh, I feel that on my back. Oh, that's not... I'm too close to my camera, though. I don't want my camera in the sun. It'll heat up. See, is it in the sun? Just a little bit. Let's see. Sun. It's kind of mottled sun because it's a tree. Here in a few minutes, about a half an hour, this will be shadier and I'll get a little bit closer. Alright, let's see what's been going on while I was getting my junk ready. Miss Janie, hello. B-Ball Chick, hello. Sundeeavila, oh, just saying hi to everybody. Pup Grim Rhino. And she went to the Las Vegas org, which was a several hour drive to go protest down there. Alright, so everybody's here. Alright. Well, I got 18 people today. That's awesome. Appreciate that. So, some of you aren't always here, but that does, oh my god, that feels so good. It does. Oh, I know, I'm so glad I'm back. So it took me, because we're military, my husband's retired Army. For 20 years I had off-post doctors, and they acted just like off-post doctors. They knew me. I could get medications in a couple of days at most. And we pay the co-pays to have our prescriptions sent to my pharmacy in our town because it's such a pain in the butt on post. So this is how they work their pharmacy. Now, they keep changing, like every couple years they change it and make it worse. So now, normally you would be at the hospital because that's where they made us go when they took our off-post doctors away, to a clinic. The first couple times I went there, I left in tears because I had some 28-year-old captain treating me like a private in the Army instead of somebody who was standing there with a walker with obvious problems. I'm not even going to go into that. Pharmacy. So you go to see your doctor. He prescribes you something. It used to be they'd send it, put it in the computer. You'd go down, you'd get a number, you get called, you tell them who you are, tell them what prescriptions you have, go back and sit down and wait. Okay, it takes a little while, but you're still there. Now, he gives you a prescription. You have to go home or wherever and call the pharmacy, activate your prescription, wait 3 days for them to call you and tell you it's ready and drive all the way back to post to pick up your prescription. So now it's 2 trips just to get, so no, when I found out that my last visit that I could get the clinic prescriptions at because I was getting my pain management doctor's off post still, and I get his at our pharmacy. When I found out he could call them off post, I'm like, yes, please, I will pay for it. So yeah, so it took me over a week to get my inhalers because you have to, if you want just a prescription refilled, something you're on all the time, like my blood pressure or my inhaler, you have to call the clinic and you have to leave a message to have the, I don't know, clinic, I guess, call you back and ask you what you want. sptvfoundation.org. They're ex-members like you. They will help you. What was I saying? Oh, prescriptions. Okay, so he started not this the end of the week before, so a week and a half or so ago, he started calling and leaving messages. Nobody called back. Finally, he called last week, got a person, left the message. We get the message on late Thursday that they've been called down. We call the pharmacy and tell them, look, can we get it sent to my thing? Now, I would have had to wait 2 to 3 days to pick it up with them. They sent it over Friday morning. It was ready at a regular. So, yes, they say that we get free medical. Actually, we do pay for a policy, but it's very good. It's very cheap. I know, and thanks, Xenu Free. I said in one of my posts, I said, you know, they really need to have a clinic for retirees. They don't understand how to deal with old people. You get doctors in there, they're all in their 20s because they all just finished their schooling, they're doing their residency, and you might get them for a year before they move on, especially officers. Officers get moved around a lot. Even if we've had some really good doctors sometimes. But, so I remember I like this guy. He's not even my listed primary care, but you're never going to see him anyway. You see whoever they are going to give, it's a clinic. Well, I asked him, I really liked him. He listened, he worked with me, and I said, well, how long are you going to be here for? And he said, I'm going to be here at least another year. Well, that was last summer. So that means this summer he's going to be gone, and I'm going to have to deal with somebody new. And it'll probably take me 2 or 3 to figure out. The only way I can have an off-post doctor again is if I move farther away. You have to be a certain distance. So that's my complaining for today and why I was gone for almost 2 weeks. Well, then I was trying to come yesterday, and I looked at the weather because I was getting ready to come, and it sounded like my deck roof was going to rip off because it's metal. And the wind was, I thought we were having a tornado, I really did. But they said we could, and it could be high winds. Well, literally right after about the time I would leave, it quit, and I didn't see anything else the rest of the day. But then again, I don't know what was between me and here, because it's, in 75 miles, the weather can totally change. So, simply said, it took months for my cousin to get through to get medical care she needed. Fortunately, I worked in mental health, so was able to help and explain what they were even saying to her and had to pay. Yeah. My husband hasn't gotten anything really done for his PTSD. He just kind of lives with it. We have a psychiatrist, and they have given him something to take, but he's terrible about taking pills. But he talked about getting back on them again. Co-pays for evals, even though she's 100% disabled and a 20, 30-year vet. Oh, she's trying to use VA. I'm surprised she didn't get TRICARE? Because my husband, we use our TRICARE. My husband hasn't even gotten his VA card, and he's been out for 14 years. Because we get at least a little bit better care we had off-post doctors for half of that time, and then about 7 or 8 years ago, they made all the retirees or anybody in a certain radius start going to the hospital, because they built a brand new hospital, and they needed patients, pretty much. And then the one thing that helped my back before they put the stimulator was these Flector patches. They had anti-inflammatory in them. TRICARE stopped paying for them. You couldn't even get them at the Army hospital anymore. I was willing to pay for half. They're like $300 a month. They were that good. They worked better than any pain pill they'd ever given me. But now I have the pain stimulator, so they gave me lidocaine patches instead. Lidocaine only, my doctor was even mad, my pain doctor. He said, those don't do the same thing. I cannot even remember what she has, to be honest. Once disability went through, it became a whole mess, and it was same time as those changes to Oklahoma. Well, if she didn't get the retired oh, my fan fell. I didn't even notice. Um, oh, hold on, guys. Everything in here is falling. Okay, that. That. There we go. There we go. All right. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm back. So, now that I'm done complaining. She has National Guard and Army retirement. Oh, it might be because she's National Guard and I was in the reserves. It's a little different. But we went ahead and kept, when he retired, he kept the TRICARE Prime. What he screwed up was his life insurance. He could have had VGLI for the rest of his life. He had 18 months or a year to re-enroll or something. Anyway, he retired, couldn't find a job, so went to Iraq for another 14 months as a civilian and didn't get it taken care of. So we literally he has not had life insurance since he retired. We just got it for him. So I'm like, if you die, I'm screwed. I can probably get disability. Just sharing to commiserate. Yeah, I appreciate it. So lots to talk about. Lots going on in SBTV world. I don't know how much. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. You guys just don't know. Even when I get a breeze, it's only every sometime. I got this right here, and I got this on my torso. It's awesome, and it's only, I think it feels like 90 something, but last week it feels like 107 because of the humidity. We don't get this much humidity, so it was actually starting to kill my husband. I'm like, you want to try my inhaler? And he's like, no, I'm all right. So anyway, let's talk SPTV. So I sat and I started looking up the dictionary term for human trafficking. Oh, Sister Lilith. I'm loving that stuff. My next Dianetics. Santa Cruz. Oh my gosh, we were stationed at Fort Ord. Seaside. Between you and Monterey. Oh my gosh, we loved it. And that we closed that base in '93 when we left. And we were young and poor and didn't take advantage. We didn't even see the Monterey Aquarium when we lived there. Oh my gosh, I miss it. We didn't even own shorts. It was never hot enough for shorts. Hi. So I was never hot enough for shorts and never cold enough to use the heater. They built the base in a bay I think back when there were air raids, because the fog would cover the base. I literally lived 2 miles from work. Halfway to work, I would hit the line and have to roll my windows down, put my sunglasses on, and on the way home, I'd have to take my sunglasses off, roll my windows up, and I filmed it when we moved. I filmed the wall of fog. It's not a joke. There was one day right before we left that got to 75 degrees. Everybody was outside because it was a heat wave. And then we came here in August and it was 102 and I thought I was gonna die. But yeah, we went up to Santa Cruz a couple times. We've got pictures there and stuff. We took the kids. It was awesome. So anyway, this Sunday at 3, I'm doing the Dianetics chapter by chapter. But I'm going to start it with a little aerontology. So, somebody had told me to get, I'm not going to say. It's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to say. So, just the first few minutes, I'm going to do some aerontology because we got to be part of the cult. I am part of the cult because that's who brought me into all this. I found he was in my feed one day and I binge watched. I couldn't go watch all of his videos. So I went back 1 year. This was towards the end of 2022. So I think I watched all of 2022 or a year back. All the ones that said a year old, you know. So we are pretty spoiled with good weather in my neck of the woods. I know. Hi, Fluffer. What's up? So let me yell some more because their door's cracked. As long as it's cracked, we're gonna have some talking. Okay, so the legal definition of human trafficking is forced labor or services that are performed or provided by a person and are obtained or maintained through force, fraud, or coercion, or equivalent conduct that would reasonably overbear the will of the person. Like being afraid to leave, being afraid to lose your family and friends, thinking you're gonna have freeloader debt when you get out, which is a lie. A church cannot collect on church services. There is no such thing as freeloader debt. Coercion by policies, doctrine, group pressure, keeping the person away from outside influences, i.e. internet, phone, or personal interaction, books, not allowing persons free thought, free will, taking away your free will, having to do whatever they tell you to do and nothing else. Free will is voluntary choice or decision, freedom of humans to make choices that are not determined by prior causes, divine intervention, or another's rules, policies, or group peer pressure. Sound like Scientology? All right, guys, I'm gonna have to use my inhaler. Whew. I have 200 puffs on this thing. And oh, and the nice thing is they sent me 3. Okay. Where are we? Oh, yes, aloha-tology. I will mention that too. It's good. I saw that. I watched Natalie on the way here. I didn't realize I was almost 3 shows behind on her because I try to save them for my drive. So I watched yesterday's and part of today's. Hold on. SPTVFoundation.org. They're ex-members like you. Now, the reason I hate taking the inhaler, it makes me super jittery. Just informed another client about the SPTV Foundation, and she took a brochure, win for the day. Woohoo! Awesome. Xenu free. Yes. Lisa Love. Hi. Yes, I'm so glad I'm back. I missed it. I wasn't letting nothing get in the way today, and I was moving slow this morning. My husband was up and awake because it's his weekend. So, I'm on a weird schedule. People will think I'm nuts, but it's because my husband works nights. I didn't get to sleep till 7 a.m. or after 7 a.m. this morning because he didn't wake up till his normal 8 p.m. And we probably didn't start watching TV together until about midnight, and we started Dune 2. But we had to go back and watch like the last 30 or so minutes of Dune 1. And then by the time we got done around 4 a.m., I was laying there trying to go to sleep for like 3 hours. I couldn't go to sleep. Finally I did. So I kept pushing off my alarm. I didn't till 10. So anyway, I wasn't gonna all I needed was coffee. And this inhaler, if I was tired, I'm not anymore. It's like speed. That's why I only take it if I absolutely have to. Well, I am sounding better. It takes a little while for me to feel better. Oh my gosh, these fans are so awesome. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to put water in this one when it's really hot, but I didn't want to do that yet. Oh my gosh, I feel so. Can you see me in the window? Oh, it feels so good. Oh. I need a hat with holes in it. I just felt about 10 degrees cooler taking my hat off. But I wear the bill so to keep my face from burning. Yeah, I was saying in the chat, I think it was yesterday, I think somebody was saying we need to figure out how Fluffer's Girl can only get 45 minutes of sleep every week. And I'm like, yeah, she gets 2 hours a week now. It's a little bit too much, I think. Oh, it's not even my backlog, Fluffer. I forget. I go home and I'm like, everything's out of my brain. I forget to edit videos. I forget. I sat down a couple days ago, started at my very first video, and I'm going through them at 2 times speed. And every different like conversation I've had with people, I'm gonna edit out now that I've learned how. I'm gonna edit those out and make those as separate videos so that you don't have to sit through me babbling for 2 hours to see a really good conversation. At the very least, I'll put, I could do that. I gotta figure out how to do the chapter or timestamps in the video. If I can't, I'll put it in like the description. If I have a really good conversation with somebody. A lot of people walking by for no classes. I dropped my, oh my gosh. Fluffer. You know what? I have like so many extra phones. I bought one off a marketplace that didn't work for me. I will send it to you. I wanted to give it away. Because there was one day I had 4 phones on me. I've got, the reason I don't use my old phone is the battery kind of sucks, but it's a Galaxy Note 9. I don't remember, it was a cheap Metro phone. There's no memory on it. All I had on it was YouTube. It was supposed to be for my filming, but it sucked for filming. I'll send you both of those phones if you want them. So just email me at scientologywontwin@gmail.com and I will send them to you. Hi.
Why is Scientology a cult?
The difference between a religion and a cult won't let you leave.
Okay.
They have what they call the Sea Org in here. And they sign a billion-year contract because they believe they live multiple lives. Because they don't know this because you have to get into the confidential levels, like where Tom Cruise and stuff is. But they believe they're from another galaxy.
Okay.
And they were brought here, and what we would call spirit or soul, they call a body thetan or a thetan. And they were here before humans. Well, when humans started, they started coming into us. And when the body dies, that's what they call it, they go find a new baby body, like at the hospital that's about to be born, and they,
so where did this shit like just come to be?
Say that again?
Where did it all just come to be?
Like, the creator of this religion was L. Ron Hubbard. He's a science fiction writer. And he created it, he started it tentatively in the 50s. He wrote a book called Dianetics. He hated psychology, so they're very against psychiatry, psychology. If you're on any kind of psych meds, you can't be a member. So he wrote this book called Dianetics. A lot of people in the 60s and 70s got into it. Well, now what you see in here now is second and third generation. They're not getting new people.
I've heard when you go in, like, what happens? Like they
if you went in to check them out, they have these movies they'll have you watch, presentations, and then they want your money. They'll try to sell you a book or something or a course. And it's inexpensive at first, but the people that get into
it ranks in once you actually get hooked in. The prices in.
Well, no, they have so the ones that have enough money, they're what we call public, and they pay $50,000 to $150,000 to move up what they call the confidential levels. Okay. But what you're going to see in here in the uniforms is either staff or Sea Org. They're slave labor. Sea Org, they usually are indoctrinated as children. They're taken out of school as early as 11 or 12. They don't have any high school education.
So is this, how big is this? Like,
they want you to, it's all over the world, but they only have about 25 to 30,000 members. They think in there, because they're not allowed to know, they tell them they have 30 million members worldwide. But you never see anybody.
Yeah.
That's why we're a nationwide group of protesters now that we're just standing here live streaming and showing how empty these orgs are. Anyway, the Sea Org are not allowed to leave. They cannot leave. They're not allowed cell phone, internet, or TV. They're usually in it from children on. And they've had people, and I've heard everything I'm telling you, I've heard from a person that has a channel or has been on an interview.
How do they control that? Like the no television, no cell phone. Like, do they not? Where do they go? What do they say?
They live here with their people. Sea Org does. They feed them. They're with them all the time, 24/7. They're not allowed. See how they close the doors and the blinds?
Yeah.
Because I'm here. They do it when I get here. What kind of church do you know that hides? Staff.
So
They
open right now?
yeah. You can go in,
No.
but they want you to come in. And he bought this building 55 years ago on purpose because it was across from college. But it took him 55 years to get it remodeled and stuff. Because they have $1 billion in offshore bank accounts, but they make public members fundraise and pay to do any kind of work. And any money they earn in here goes only up. That's why their door's still broken. And Sea Org gets $50 a week, $47 after taxes. Now they do feed them, but if you talk to ex-members, it's like, they do feed like chicken and stuff, but if they haven't made money, they're getting beans and rice. Staff is supposed to make $200 a week if the org makes money, and they all work 100 hours a week at least. So normally a staff would have to either have a second job to pay rent, or they've got a spouse that they live off of. And they're really not, when their contract is up, they really coerce them. And if you try to leave, they do what they call disconnection. So a lot of times, because of the way it's structured, everyone your whole family, sometimes your other job is with Scientologists. If you leave or speak out against the church, they have to declare you an SP and you can't ever speak to them again. And if you're married and you leave, your spouse has to divorce you if they want to stay in. Then they will harass you if you speak out. They call it fair gaming. They've actually done it to me. I'm just a grandma with a little tiny channel, and they've called a fake police call on me. My husband was with me one time, and they tried to follow him to my vehicle to get my license plate. So the reason I'm here, and this is what I usually start with, but we went into Sea Org. I usually have my spiel. I'm here. I'm a Christian, but I don't care what other religions do. That's not why I'm here. When you start abusing children, that's why I'm here. Because they don't believe their kids are kids. They believe they're big beings in small bodies because they've lived last life they could have been 80 years old. So there's rampant child abuse, rampant SA abuse, and that's the worst part, is because they're these people that have been in the Sea Org their whole lives and have kids. They put them in public, put their kids, and they literally signed them over as early. They have these.
Leader of this location?
Okay, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The leader died in the early 80s, and this guy, David Miscavige, led a coup. He was not supposed to take over when the original leader died, and he wrote everything. This guy was a prolific writer. He even tells them how to wash windows, use vinegar and newspaper. They have to do everything the way LRH wrote it. David Miscavige took over in the 80s, and he's worse. He's very abusive. A lot of the execs left because he would just punch on them and, that kind of stuff. And he drives a Bentley and has Italian handmade shoes while they're making $47 a week.
That's how this place is staying standing?
Yeah, because all the public, they have these big public, like Tom Cruise, the lady that does Bart Simpson's voice is given $50 million. Tom Cruise is probably given more than that. They've got these millionaires that are giving them money, and what they do is they have this $1 billion in an offshore bank account. They just live off the interest because he doesn't give these people any money. They have to earn it, and if they don't get paid. And that's why it's slave labor. If you want to take a picture, these are a bunch of channels growing up in Scientology. If you can remember that, that's who I started with. These are all, they all were put in as kids and got out. They were in for like 15, 20 or more years. So.
How'd they get out?
Some of them, I know the one guy that I watched, they were in the Sea Org, and to get married in the Sea Org, there's no dating. It's like, I like you, and in 2 weeks you're married, because there's no dating. That's the weird part, is you can do all this stuff to, this other stuff. Anyway, if you get pregnant in the Sea Org, you're not allowed to have children in the Sea Org. They will take you to the abortion clinic. But they said no, they got out, then they got out, they were what we call public, and then they're what they call under the radar for a while, meaning they were out in their mind, but all their family and stuff was in. But then they mess with them too much. Now there is Mike Brown, now there's elder abuse too. Mike Brown is in the military, he's in the Army. He got his mom out last year because when you can't work for them anymore, they shove you in a house with a bunch of other elderly, take your Social Security and take out credit cards in your name. When you die, the credit cards go away and they take your money. He got her out like, special forces style. Found out she was $160,000 in debt that she didn't even know about. If that's all you can remember, Mike Brown, he'll get you to everything else. I try to give them one name so that they can remember. Whew. So I need my inhaler. Okay. I forget the amount of money sometimes. Thanks, Simply Said. Thanks, Jessica. Over the holiday. Oh, awesome, Amy. That's awesome. Well, because we've been so isolated with the military, my kids didn't grow up with family, we didn't grow up with family, and we stayed here because when he retired, our daughter was still in high school. I had no intention of being in Texas for 30 years. Our family's all up north, and our parents were all gone. Most of my family's gone. So I haven't talked to anybody about this. I don't do Facebook anymore, which upsets me a bit because that's where they announce babies being born and people getting married, and I'm not on it. I'm like, couldn't you at least send me a messenger, message at least? Because I find out next year that they've had a baby for 6 months. Anyway, well, that's good. I'm glad because when I come, I try to talk about, I usually have a topic in my title that I kind of want to talk about, or I try to talk about the latest, because I know maybe there's people that don't see all the same channels, especially now. When I first started in February, it has exploded in that time. So I always have something I want to try to talk about so that you guys are interested and they can hear me too, because I'm loud. Oh, it's gotten shady. I can move closer. All right, now we're closer. So I don't know why I have to hit the button. And I'm getting new glasses, you guys. I have an appointment June 20th. So my bifocals will be higher. So you don't have to look up my nose every time I look at the chat. Oh my gosh, these fans are awesome. There is no breeze today that I can feel. These are awesome. So glad. So I got the big one. It was on sale for $20. I think I know why, because it's still HDMI, not C. But the little one is C, and it was like $5. Because I think you have to spend $25 to get a shipment. Anyway, I was going to tell you, early on, I did order a few things from AliExpress. Delete that app. Because A, it takes 2 months to get to you, and B, half the time it's messed up. Now, they're really good about refunds. But when I went to Temu is just like Amazon. You get your stuff in a decent amount of time. And if you don't get your stuff in the time they say, they will refund you money without you even asking. They've done it twice. I didn't get something on time, and twice they've refunded me money. And These I think took 2 weeks to get, because I ordered them after my asthma attack, so it took less than 2 weeks to get here. Probably about a week and a half. So Temu is actually, and you know, everything we buy on Amazon and stuff is made in China anyway. The only thing I don't like is they really don't add things. Oh, that's awesome, Simply. Yeah, I know. There's something always going on. I mean, I pulled up Eric Rader, I think yesterday. There's a bunch of cops. I'm like, I looked at my husband. I'm like, oh, here we go. Come to find out, it just something happened while he was there. Just some meth head got arrested, and I was like, yeah, meth is bad juju. Bad juju. So I had a point to something I was saying. I'm on my inhaler, so I'm probably more squirrely than usual. I'm like, squirrel, 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 squirrel. If you know what that means. Because it makes me jittery, but I can breathe. Oh, so for weeks now, I've wanted to sit down and do a video, not a live, do a video. I wanted to do it outside, but it's just been too hot. But now I've got my little cubby, my little corner area set up nice, and I've been wanting to do a video for friends and family, and I was gonna call it how and why I became an activist at 55. And I was gonna tell them all that I've been doing and why. The same things that I tell people that walk by. And because at first I didn't want anybody watching my channel, but now I don't give a crap. It's too important to not have more people watching. So my husband has a huge family. We went to one family reunion. Oh, it was a long time ago though. A lot of people passed on. There was 100 people there. There's actually, I can't tell you. There was a small town with, in a state that they're from, that had was their name. But it was small. Like, now all that's left is a cemetery. So, my son also swapped me TV so he could connect our phones. So, oh, I know. So, sptvfoundation.org. That might have been a delivery driver, I don't know. No, Hitzel. I will definitely go check that out. That's awesome. And I gotta make sure I'm getting your notifications. That's something else I want to tell y'all that I try to say in chats when I'm on there. What people don't understand is when you go and you subscribe to a channel and you just hit subscribe and do nothing else, it puts your notifications on personalized. Not all. So you're not going to get every notification. When I went through all the subscriptions that I cared about, I have a lot of subscriptions, but I don't want notifications from all of them. So when I went through all the ones I wanted notifications and I changed it to all, I get my notifications now. I get them all. In Texas, you never know. But yeah, he looked too comfortable walking in there. Oh yeah. Well, luckily my doctor gave me 3. And see, I once asked for 2. I said, well, I'd like to have one in my purse and one at home. They're like, you can't just remember to take your inhaler. And I'm like, and they sent me 3 with like, I couldn't tell, but it looked like 7 refills. That's like 2 years for me. Because they go bad before I ever use them up. Yeah, Hitzel 505, y'all. Go subscribe. Make sure all your subscriptions, your notifications are on all. So I'm gonna sit down. I wanted to wait till I had my inhaler and everything. I gotta pick a good time when I really feel like doing it. I mean, I'm gonna be like, you might as well go get a cup of coffee. This is gonna be a while, because I'm gonna try to doing it in segments. so they can come back later if they don't want to watch the whole thing. You know, first it's going to be the why or the how. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. So the door's cracked. Let me go over a couple more things I wrote down. Hold on. Let's see. There's a lot of construction going on right behind and next to the board. It's horrible. Oh my god, that is so loud. Now, they just pull it tight sometimes. I can tell it's cracked. They'll walk up and pull it tight sometimes, but as soon as somebody goes in, it's cracked again. But I am right though. I was going through my first video and there was no frost on these doors. So they had the money to put frost on the doors, but not to fix it. You know. So this is the notes that I have just on human trafficking. So let's see. Let's just go. Well, let's finish talking because I'm still. Woo. Oh, they were up. They closed up for me. I saw they were watching Windy City Thetan, and they were like having fun with it. Hi. And they were laughing, and then I guess he chased a couple people, and they were laughing. Let me go help. Here, I'll hold it on for you. Yeah, I've had a walker and I've had to use the scooter things at the store before. It sucks. Did I get kicked off? Or was it too fast?